Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Kimetsu no Yaiba episode 12. We are right about at the midway point. I think it's 26, not 24, so one episode to go before we're technically at the midway point. But stuff is happening. So we have met Zenitsu, or Yellow Boy. He's not very likable at the moment, but has lots of headroom to grow as a character. So I'm sure he'll grow on me. And a lot of people have pointed out that he frequently is in the top running for character popularity polls and stuff like that. So I'm sure he'll grow. Um, we went with Zenitsu to this mansion place, which turned out to be a topsy-turvy, upside-down, haunted house type crazy place, which seems to be ruled slash run by a large, muscly demon with 3 drums embedded in his chest, which he seems to beat and cause the house to rearrange itself and make it like a trap room. It's kind of cool as a design and idea. We'll see what happens with that. I know that that demon is featured in the OP, so maybe we get a nice long fight here. And then in the midst of like running around trying to figure out what's going on in this mansion, we ran into the guy wearing I guess it's a boar head. I think so. It's like a boar head, and he's got the two sort of, they look like razor wire, but almost serrated Nichirin katana. I think that's the name for it. Uh, Special swords. And he seems really gung ho and like balls to the wall about fighting. And the first frame of this episode appears to be him. So I guess that's where we're starting. I think the end of the last episode was him, so that makes sense. Anyway, let's find out what happens here. Nezuko is outside, cut off from everybody. Zenitsu is being scared, and Boar guy is running in, charging, swords drawn. Okay, let's see where we go. I've got the episode up and ready. It's at 0 seconds. There will be multiple versions of this reaction video. You can find the picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the description down there. Timer-based version will be on YouTube as usual. It'll have discussion at the end, anything that I feel worth talking about, and a beep beep timer at the beginning to sync up with your own version of Kimetsu. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. And that beep beep timer will go right here. Easy peasy. Whoa. Okay. There he is. The boar bares its fangs. Zenitsu sleeps. Oh, he's got more than just those. He's got one in his side too. Whoa. Hmm. Got in his way. Ooh, soundtrack. Whoa. Ah, okay. Each drum has a different effect. Cool. Yeah. Ooh. Whoa. Body block. Damn. Hmm. A unique scent of blood. Hmm. Well. Oh shit. Okay. The soundtrack building up. That's great. Yeah, okay. Have a moment, Zenitsu. You gotta do it. Gotta face that fear. Oh, oh, wow. It was in the title. So there's something about Zenitsu that we haven't been told, isn't there? Something a little bit different. Epic chanting different. Is he conscious during this? Because we never see his face, his eyes open. Even when he does this in the OP. Most certainly. Oh, yeah. He was asleep. Okay. Did I do that? Okay. Instantly becomes an interesting character. He has no idea. Oh my. Ah, so he's wild. Okay. Hmm. Ooh. A former member. Muzan High. Oh, whoa. Ooh. Ooh, there are the spider ones? Ooh. So why are you doing what you're doing? Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, what is that? Oh. How did you get here? Yeah. Okay. Uh-uh. Okay. Oh, so when he smelled a different kind of blood, a unique kind that he had never experienced before, was that what he was smelling? This kid's blood? Probably. That makes sense. Oh, just like that. I believe it though. Okay. Oh my god. That's wonderfully creepy. That's pretty dope. Figured out your game. Oh, this is stellar. Oh. Ow. That's a cool piece of animation. There are a lot of cool pieces of animation in this episode. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Nice. Wow, that ending gave me some vibes. Oh yeah, all right. Taisho's secret? Yes. No. No, no. This was a good episode. This was a really good episode. Um where to start? Where to start? Write down a list of topics that I want to cover. Okay, so the problem that I'm facing is that I had a very specific feeling slash vibe slash experience around the end of this episode. That's hard to just hard to put into words because there isn't like a quick, clean, easy term for it. But it's the moment where I realize that I am wholeheartedly rooting for the protagonist. What I mean is like, and this happens in good shonen more than anywhere else. And it's usually in like the first 6 to 12 episodes. This is a little bit late for it, and I think I've maybe had this vibe a little bit earlier in this show as well. But this moment right here at the end of this episode where Tanjiro sort of doubts himself for just a second, for just a moment, and then reveals to us, the audience, that he is struggling, that he is in pain, that he has been for a while, that his injuries are not healed, and that as he is in beautiful fluid animation getting bounced around this room, it hurts. It's not easy, it's not fun, and he's struggling to muster up the energy to go and defeat this demon. And then he thinks to himself, yeah, this is hard, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I went, ooh, because that I had the moment. It's the moment where I got the vibe that I give a damn about Tanjiro. And that's not to say that I hadn't before, but at that moment, it clicked, and I'm like, I'm in. I'm in on this character and where he'll go from here. The moment that I wholeheartedly root for the protagonist. And if the episode had just had that, it still would have been a standout, stellar episode. But it also knocked out some really cool pieces of animation, which we'll go through and talk about, and made me realize some things about the character development, that the way that it's done, especially around Tanjiro. I realized, just listening carefully to the conversation that he has when he finds the boy with the drum, and goes to comfort him, and he does this like, well, first off, there's something in his voice. There's something just in the voice actor's delivery where you can hear kindness and compassion in his delivery in almost every line. It's that upper register where it's comforting and kind in his voice. I don't know if I can explain it, but if you listen back to some of his lines in this conversation, you get that. And it made me realize that a lot of the characterization that Ufotable is doing with Tanjiro is not explicit or inside his head, but instead just in the way that he addresses and speaks to lay people, normal civilians who are caught up in these messes. And he is always like this. He is always overly, outwardly demonstrably kind and compassionate. It's like he wants to be the big brother to the whole world, and that's how he treats everyone that he meets, especially younger children. He treats them as though they're part of his family, and that's just something that I realized and wanted to point out because of that and because it's cool. Then we have character development for Zenitsu. This is the interesting part of the episode, and this was like the midpoint hype moment because this whole situation, this whole scenario is really awesome. And then there's even beyond that. We'll get to Boarface guy and how he and Zenitsu might play off each other, but and then we'll get to the rotating rooms and stuff. But okay, so we enter and we meet Zenitsu leading this boy with his eyes closed, and he's clearly the more terrified member of the pair. I think this joke is it goes on a little bit too long, and I don't find it terribly funny, but it does set up the scenario and Zenitsu's personality in the scenario. He is cowardly. And then he's introduced to something that it's reasonable to be afraid of. That's a real spooky looking demon monster, and it comes out and it's like, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna slurp your brains through your ears. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh geez, oh okay, yeah, reasonable to run from this. And it's played like comedy. You know, they're running for their lives, but it's hilarious. And I do think it's funny. I don't think that the execution on the specific jokes is good enough. The pacing, the comedic timing, it's whack. It's wacky. So he passes out, and we think, oh, this is just his obvious, cowardly character response. And then he snaps to not awakeness, and we are greeted with the other Zenitsu. Hype as fuck. Glorious. Absolutely glorious. And then he does a form, and it's beautiful. There's a lot of smear, like mini smear in all of these motions. Give them a lot of weight. Ooh, that's such a crisp little ding. This is amazing. This is amazing. Look at that. Oh my god, that's a one cut. All the way in past him, like he's at the starting line of a race. Around to the front, and his hair waves as we fly by it. Whoosh. And then out from there, and then panning up. And it's all blended seamlessly with the background. And then in a flash of electric energy, he severs, oh my, like a beast. And I think we get one more a dope-ass impact frame. Oh, it's not really an impact frame. It's just a cut. And then he pops awake. Suddenly, Zenitsu is an interesting character. He has a second him. One with, like, its brain turned off. That's not afraid of anything. That just executes. That's super neat. Super intriguing. I can't wait to see more of this and find out more of it. And what's also interesting is that he seems to have absolutely no clue that he did this or that he's capable of it. On the other side, we've got the Boar guy, and there are a couple interesting things that happen here. One is the way that he states his move, and it's self-taught beast breathing style or something like that. So he's like a feral demon hunter out there in the wild doing his thing, living on his own. Of course he's super aggressive and like reckless. I think he was called reckless directly a couple of times in this episode. But reckless to the point of endangering civilians, endangering himself. Pretty much the polar opposite of the Zenitsu that we've met, who is cowardly to the point of endangering others and himself. But in the same way that we've seen now, Zenitsu has a flip side, has a powerful center, a super mode, a Super Saiyan 2 that he can access. I wonder if Boar Guy will also have a bit of yin in his yang, or a bit of yang in his yin, whichever. Like if he actually has a heart of gold or something like that, because he's so outwardly reckless and not caring about anyone else and self-centered, focused on fighting in battle. So a soft side would be cool. I expect that there will be some soft side reveal. Like I don't know, he loves planting gardens or something. Or cooking. Something like that. Cool. So, character development and the way that it's done for Tanjiro. Same for Zenitsu and the specific instance in this episode of that. Oh yeah, the background on Muzan and the 12 demon moons, and how this guy is like one step removed from being a demon moon. He was cast out from them. Also, this is one of the spider ladies. I think there are two of them because there's still a spider pattern here. I think that's on this one. This is one of the spider ladies that we see in the OP. So they are a member of the demon moons. Neat. Good to know. And we've got motivations and like something set up for this particular demon with the drum. Crow ex machina to like exposition bird just literally just appears to tell us what this special blood thing is. That's kind of bad. Just all of our characters have no idea what this thing is. Let's make the magical bird appear and explain it, because that's easy. It's kind of lazy writing. That's okay though. So then we have this moment, and he's simultaneously like battling this demon, figuring out what all the drums do, dealing with the pain that he's in, expressing that pain to the audience. And animation wise, we are tumbling around this moving box with him as he goes, and it is glorious. This is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Just these camera movements are smart. They accentuate every bit of the tumbling and bounce with him, flow with him. And so we do as the audience. He goes in for a triumphant strike, and then that's the moment when he thinks about all the pain that he's in. He's thwarted, and then he has to regather himself. He's thinking and imagining defeat. He's considering what would happen if he makes a misstep, and it's not pretty. It's bad. He would be turned into calamari. And so he looks back to his teaching for some kind of something. We get this really awesomely animated bit with the water and the waves, and then he's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a form that'll make it happen. I can be like water and do the thing. I'm gonna rouse myself, give it everything that I have, give it my absolute best, get ready to go. I've done well till now. I'm gonna keep doing well, and I have what it takes. This is a character digging in and motivating themselves. I love it. I love it. And it's not a shit pep talk from a random like one-off mentor. It's not characters telling each other who they are and what their deal is, like, so that we the audience know it. It's a character who knows what he's about saying it to himself so that he can muster up the energy, the drive to face great evil and come out on this, come out on the winning side. Fuck yeah. I love it. I'm all in for it. I love it to pieces. It's got the same kind of vibe that I get in early season 1 of Hiroaka, when you're first set up to for Izuku's motivations, or the vibe when he pulls off the first punch in the exam thing, or the vibe when Gon lands the fishing pole hit and yanks Hisoka's tag, or later than that, the moment when he gets the punch in, the moments that for me solidified a show for me as like, and not just a show, a leading character for me as somebody that I could get behind, and I will watch their development and I will watch them progress over the episodes because there's something to be gained from it, from viewing their perspective. And I think that this show has just proved itself to do that. So I'm all in. Anyway, I think that's going to be about it for me. So I've been Teeaboo. This has been Kimetsu no Yaiba episode 12. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, because I had a blast this episode. I really enjoyed it. I hope you leave any comments, any thoughts on what I've talked about or things I haven't talked about down in the comments. That'll be cool. I'll read them. And I hope to catch you next week in the next one. Peace.